Good morning. My name is Reverend Kylie Renner, and on behalf of the entire One Spiritual Center community, I want to welcome you here. Thank you for bringing your love and your light into this space this morning. Congratulations on making it successfully through the time change. You are here on time. So in about an hour, we may have some people come in really confused about what's going on. Did we start early? Just knowing everyone's exactly where they're supposed to be this morning, I want to tell you just a little bit about something I was present to this week, which was I had an opportunity to spend some time, actually lots of time this week, doing something that required my full attention. So I've been helping with a project that my husband took on. So he restores furniture, and he had taken on this project that I kind of just said, I want these chairs out of my living room, so I will do it. And I started weaving Danish cord, which is a paper cord chairs. And the thing about this weaving process, at least for me, is that I'm not good enough at it that I can not pay attention to what I'm doing. And it takes a lot of time. And so I spent 5 days this week spending almost all day weaving. And I have to tell you, as a meditative practice, as a practice of having to stay fully with what I'm doing, I can't go off somewhere else and think about something else, because you know what happened is I had to take half a seat off after I did that, which was no fun. And so this idea that we can do these things that cause us to be fully present in what we're doing is, I believe, a practice that actually can help us be more fully present to all of our lives. And so I spent lots of hours just being present to that this week, about what it feels like to be right where I am. And honestly, I've never felt better. so those opportunities we have to just get fully immersed in what we're doing, what a gift. And so I'm in this space of realizing that we need more of that in our lives. More of the things that challenge us, at least enough so that we have to turn off the part of our brain that wants to be somewhere else. And usually we call these things boring or tedious or whatever it is. And instead, what if it's exactly like the what we need for this world right now to figure out how to navigate it, to be really present to what we're doing. And so these chairs got delivered, and I recognized that I poured a lot of love into each strand that was weaved into that seat, because that's exactly the only thing I could do, is be present to that. So I'm just inviting us into a space this morning of being present here, in allowing ourselves to be right here. Not where we're going to be later, not in some other plan state, not in any idea of what happened before, and see if we can allow ourselves to heal from this inability to be where we are. So we're just going to take this opportunity to pray into this day, and if you're comfortable, please close your eyes. And as we allow our breath to guide us, we just become present to what it feels like to be alive today. Maybe in some way that we've never been aware of it before. What it feels like to be in our bodies. What it feels like to be with what's going on in our heads. What it feels like to be on this planet. On this particular day, with everything that's going on. And I just recognize the power and the presence of love right here. Showing up in seen and yet to be seen ways. And I recognize how sweet it is just to be able to be here together. To be on this journey together of transformation, to be supporting one another, and being present in a new way. And so I just know that Spirit knows what it is doing. I know that it has called us together today in a perfection that is bigger than any one of us. And we just allow for that perfection to unfold today as we let go into trust. And we let go into peace. And we let it be. And so it is.
Peace like a river, I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul.
To prepare for meditation today, I've chosen a poem by Kaylin Hout. It's entitled, God Says Yes to Me. I asked God if it was okay to be melodramatic, and she said, yes. I asked her if it was okay to be short, and she said, it sure is. I asked her if I could wear nail polish or not wear nail polish, and she said, honey. She calls me that sometimes. She said, you can do just exactly what you want to. Thanks, God, I said. And is it even okay if I don't paragraph my letters? Sweet cakes, God said. Who knows where she picked that up? What I'm telling you is, yes, yes, yes. And so we just let that yes guide us today as we let the meditation take us.
Our special music this morning, the amazing Patty Littlefield is here. Patty Littlefield. You're the only one who went to the. You're the only one who went on the airplane. Is that the deal? You got this.
Okay. Hello. It's like my blankie. And my music here. Yes. Thank you. Yay! Masterfully done. I've been thinking a lot about yes and love, especially now, and I'm feeling the vibe that we really are all one. I just wanted to share that with you. Because we're here, and this is the one, right?
This one note.
Quit talking. Okay. You got to live a little, take a little, and let your poor heart break a little. That's the story, that's the glory. Love. You gotta laugh a little, cry a little, and let the clouds roll by a little. That's the story, and that's the glory of love. As long as there's a few of us, we've got the world and all its charms. And when the world is through with us, we've got each other's arms. We've got to win a little, lose a little, yes, and even sing the blues a little. Well, that's the story, and that's the glory of love. As long as there's a few of us, well, we've got the world, the beautiful world, and got to win a little, lose a little, yes, and even sing the blues a little. Well, that's the story, and that's the glory of love. Oh, well, that's the story, and that's the glory of love.
That's Patty Littlefield.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's all right. John took my music and then he got accused, or music stand, but he got accused of taking Patty's music. So he actually did take mine. So happy International Women's Day. I was thinking about one of the things that I've learned a lot about over the last few years, which is, especially as a woman, finding my authentic yes. So I have to say that I'm sure that this applies to everyone, but I certainly feel that women are enculturated in this society that we live in to say yes to things that maybe are or no, because it's a really vulnerable thing to do, to say no, especially when it feels like, how dare you? And so there's a lot of times when it feels like we women and men, and all of us say yes to things that just really aren't what we should be saying yes to. And I have to say that I have actually gotten the most trouble in my life by the real and authentic no's I have said, because those no's have challenged the yes that I was supposed to make everything just work magically for everyone. And so I realized as I was thinking about this morning and about that kind of authentic yes is that there is a necessity for us to be able to find that place, and the place that has the authentic yes also holds the courage for the authentic no. And so I've been thinking about, how do we find that yes, like that hell yes, this is what I want to be doing, this is what I want my life to look like, this is what I want to feel like, this is what I want the world to look like. How do we find that inside of ourselves, especially when, and especially not get it caught up in like the thousands of mundane little yeses and nos and maybes that we have to make along the way. Because there are these big yeses that want our attention, but I don't know about you, but I can get caught up on these little things, right, that don't really matter, and I'm trying to decide yes or no about where to eat dinner, or what to cook for dinner. Actually, is usually my issue, and like that like getting caught up in this like the minutia of it instead of the big grand yes that is about health and love and care and nurturing. And all of that is there, but it gets stuck in this place where we can't see that there's this bigger yes calling to us, because we're so wrapped up in our pros and cons and yes, well, kind of, and if we have to be having that level of conversation, what I know to be true is for myself is that I need to wait, right? I need to not be making a decision, not be making that leap from a place that isn't, oh yes, or no, definitely no. Like that there's this other place that I have to get to for that to show up. So I love this story that John Lennon told about falling in love with Yoko Ono. And what happened was that right when they were first getting together, Yoko had an art gallery where she had put on an exhibit, and what this exhibit was, what it required was that there was this darkened room, and there was this shaky ladder that you had to walk up. It was like Meow Wolf, right? You know, there was this shaky ladder you had to walk up, and at the top of it was this telescope. And you had to look through this telescope in this dark room on the shaky ladder, and you had to focus the telescope, and when you did, distantly what you saw written was the word yes. And he said how impactful that was for him, like it was an insight into her, right? And that sparked this seed of love in him for her. But I just love that image, right? This idea that we have to like get up that shaky ladder in a darkened room and look through the telescope to be able to find that yes. Because what I know to be true is that yes is not always easy to find. It's layered behind all of these ideas we have of ourselves. All these limitations, all these things we thought we should have said yes to before, all these ways we think we're broken, all the things we think that we need first, and it's all layered behind that. So it's really sometimes hard to even find that yes, because it's layered behind our compromises and all of our ideas about limitation. And so the work of finding our yes is the work of being willing to stay with it, even when it's treacherous. Right? Even when it requires us to look at those things. So Joseph Campbell says that the big question is whether you are going to be able to say a hearty yes to your own adventure. Whether you're going to be able to say yes, a hearty yes to your own adventure. And not somebody else's adventure. Not all the things you thought you needed to say yes to keep the peace or to make it so that people wouldn't abandon you because you've said no. I don't know if you have that one, but I find that lurking every once in a while in the background. So this is the yes that is the yes, I can deal with this challenge. Yes, I can manage this pain. Yes, I will do everything I can and whatever it takes to adjust and adapt to this. Yes, I need support and will turn to the right people for it. Yes, I will live in ways that move me forward. Yes, I will focus on where I am going and not where I have been. Yes, I will maintain hope about the future. Yes, I will learn from everything that comes in front of me. Yes, I will take the twists and turns that which life brings me and not resist the unpleasant parts of that. And yes, and yes, and yes. And all of those yeses bring us to that bigger yes. Because every time we recommit to saying yes to our own unraveling, our own movement, where we get back to who we really are, past all of those ideas and that gunk that we carry around, then what we get to is those authentic places of yes, and that's where we really come alive. Because it's not about anything we've thought about ourselves. It's about something deeper that we're called to. And so E.E. Cummings said it this way: "May I be gay like every lark who lifts his life from all of the dark, who wings his why beyond because, and sings as if of day to yes." So I'm going to say that end again because I love that, and I often, when I've been listening to the birds, been saying that to myself. So this is the lark who lifts his life from all the dark, who wings his why beyond because, and sings as if of day to yes. Sings as if of day to yes. And so what I imagine is happening as spring is springing up around us and the birds are coming alive. I have a bird building a very, very messy nest right on top of one of my, the patio over my door. And this idea that we can sing as if of day to yes, that we can sing our lives into this bigger space of yes, that we can actually commit to that. And the mindfulness practice of this capacity we have to say authentic yes an authentic no, and having the courage to do so. So I don't know about you, but for a very, very long time, I had a really, really hard time meditating. And I would sit there, and all of a sudden, my left big toe would start itching. And then I would get a pain in some muscle I didn't know I had in my right elbow. And I would all of a sudden be like back in kindergarten to that time that classmate of mine bit me. And, like I would just like not be able to be there. And I took that to a retreat that I was on, just this idea, like, how do I transform this? Because this is silly. Like my left toe big toe did not itch when I sat down. And it's not really itchy. Why do I have this like ferocious need to itch it right now? Like, what is that? And I took it into this retreat, and I asked the teacher if he had any insight in this. And he gave me the practice of starting to say yes to those sensations when they came up. To say, yes, you're an itchy left big toe. I will deal with you later. Yes, you are pain in my right elbow. Yes, that happened when I was in kindergarten. Yes, to all of that. And ultimately what he told me was that it would take some of the power away that I had given it by resisting its presence, by saying no to it. And lo and behold, it did. And it's actually a practice I have to go back to every once in a while because it still shows up. But what I know to be true about that is that there's something that can happen when we start to say yes to those things that are showing up in our way that maybe we just haven't figured out a way of maneuvering yet, that are actually part of our bigger yes, that feel like, I really wish this wouldn't be happening. I wish I could sit here and be still and be quiet and meditate. And then I wish all these things that were distracting me just weren't here. And what if we started to say yes to those things as part of the process, part of the bigger yes that is being revealed? So what I know about this is that there's a really vulnerable place about saying a yes that is a real yes, and it is basically just as vulnerable as no that is a real no, right? It's revealing ourselves. It's revealing a truth about ourselves. And it requires us to be willing to be vulnerable because, especially when we're doing a yes that isn't just about the easiest way out. So Brene Brown talks about this in her vulnerability books, about this idea. And she says the moment someone asks you to do something that you don't have time or inclination to do is fraught with this very deep sense of vulnerability. Yes often seems like the easiest way out, but it comes at a price. I cannot tell you how many times I've said sure in my squeaky, I can't believe I'm doing this voice, only to spend hours, even months, feeling angry and resentful. She says, for women, there's a myth that we're supposed to do it all and do it perfectly. Saying yes, no cues a chorus of inner shame gremlins that say, who do you think you are? You're not a very caring mother, wife, friend, colleague, etc., etc. So daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves even when we risk disappointing others. We can't base our own worthiness on others' approval, and this is coming from someone who spent years trying to please everyone. Only when we believe deep down that we are enough can we say enough. And so here's the deal. Like I said, this is not just about women. This is about knowing that our yes is enough. Like what we've come here to be and do is enough. Like really believing that so that we can tune into what that sounds like. Like it may even sound so unfamiliar because we've said yes to all these things that are not our path. and not really ours to do, and are actually someone else's path and someone else's to do. And so it's unfamiliar, even the sound of our own yes. So Terry Tempest Williams says it this way: for far too long we have been seduced into walking a path that did not lead us to ourselves. For far too long we have said yes when we wanted to say no. For far too long we have said no when we desperately wanted to say yes. When we don't listen to our intuition, we abandon our souls. And we abandon our souls because we are afraid if we don't, others will abandon us. And so this commitment to not abandon our souls, to get deeply in touch with our yeses, leads us all kinds of places that are unfamiliar because we just don't recognize the territory, because we haven't actually been there. We've been so focused on walking the path that feels like the path of appeasement, or just getting by, or just getting through to the next thing, that we have ignored this kind of yes that has been screaming to us. That yes in the poem from beginning, where God just says, sweet cakes, yes, 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 of course, yes. And we have that inside of us, and it wants our attention. And so what I know is to be true about this for myself is that it's really important if I am going to be committed to my own healing work, to not just be doing it from the perspective of just getting by, but to be do it from the perspective that the authentic yes in me is what the world needs. Like, this is not just about my own personal process, that's great for me, that I've getting in touch with my divine courage and my vision and my wisdom, but like, this is actually what the world needs right now, is a bunch of us committed to that yes that's about what we really believe to be possible, and committed to it on every level, so that we don't keep on making compromises about what we really value, about what we really know is possible, about where we just keep going back into old patterns and old ideas, and where we keep committing to things that are too small for us. And so I know that there's like this divine urge in me to commit to that yes in a deeper way, because I know that the world needs it right now. Needs people committed to and passionate about their yeses, because everything becomes so much clearer when we know where our yes is, and if we're willing to get up that shaky ladder in the dark and look through the telescope long enough to be able to find it. So there's this great poem by David White that speaks to this for me, and this is a poem of his called Sweet Darkness. When your eyes are tired, the world is tired also. When your vision has gone, no part of the world can find you. Time to go into the dark, where the night has eyes to recognize its own. There you can be sure you are not beyond love. The dark will be your womb tonight. The night will give you a horizon further than you can see. And you must learn one thing. You must learn one thing. The world was made to be free in. Give up all the other worlds except the one to which you belong. Sometimes it takes darkness and the sweet confinement of your aloneness to learn. Anything or anyone that does not bring you alive is too small for you. Anything or anyone that does not bring you alive is too small for you. And so this is where that yes comes in. That if it is not bringing us alive, it's time to have the courage to say no to all of the things that we know don't fit with that bigger vision that is calling us, to really say no to them, to say, no, I will not participate in the perpetuation of that system of belief that it is keeping us contained. And so this idea then is that this commitment to what really brings us alive is a commitment to finding our yes, even though it's sometimes treacherous, sometimes difficult to find, and that we find pieces of it in strange places. I know I do. I have found pieces of my yes in teaching Chinese students English. Who would have thought? I found pieces of my yes yesterday knocking on doors for the Democratic Party in our city. I found pieces of my yes in gardening this week. I find pieces of it everywhere, and there's this has to be this willingness in us to be willing to do the work, to keep on saying yes in a way that allows for there to be authentic no, and then for us to find that bigger vision of yes. So I know someone is going to come up to me later and say, I have no idea what you were talking about, or say, I feel really, really bad about myself because I can't find that yes. I've been looking for that yes, and I just want you to know that is perfectly normal. Sometimes I can't see it, even though it's right in front of me. And so this commitment, though, is to stay with the fact that we think we can't find that yes long enough to find it, to not get discouraged, to not decide that we're broken, to not decide, oh, well, the divine sent me here without a yes. Whatever that is, whatever story we concoct, that we actually have to stay with it long enough. And it changes, and it grows, and it expands, and it gets deeper, and it's so beautiful. So let's find our yes together. I'm going to invite the band up because we're going to sing into our prayer. And I'm just going to invite you to think of maybe some place where, I don't know, either you've said a yes that didn't feel authentic, or you need to say a yes that is authentic, or a no that is real. And just see if being willing to let the divine guide and prayer move changes. However that is that we are holding on to, whatever it is. Please join me as we sing into our prayer.
Our prayer of love lifts us high. It heals us, sustains us, and sets us free. Our prayer of love lifts us high. It heals us, sustains us, and sets us free. Our prayer of love lifts us high. It heals us, sustains us, and sets us free. Our prayer of love lifts us high. It heals us, sustains us, and sets us free.
So our prayer of love today is the prayer of a sacred yes. A sacred yes that lives within us, that is beyond any because, that has been singing to us since we were shot here through all of eternity. And we are willing to listen to it in a way that is deeper than ever before, in a way that is past all of our ideas of ourselves, about what we've come here to do or be. It is past all of our ideas of our brokenness or our limitations of any kind. And as we allow ourselves to listen for that yes in this deeper way, I know that everything that needs to be revealed is revealed. All of the things that need to be said no to in order to have that yes be more fully present in our lives. And I just know that every step of the way, all of that which needs to fall away and all that which needs to come together does so in a perfection that is bigger than we could have ever imagined. And so we commit to our own divine, powerful, and sacred yes We commit to listening to it, even when it doesn't make sense, even when we don't know how it is possible, even when we can't hear it, even when we think it's not there. We commit ourselves to allowing it to be present in us so that we may truly come alive, so that we may truly remember what we've come here to do, so that we may be healing agents of change on this planet that is so desperately calling for us to create new possibilities. And so I just know that anything that is too small for us is revealed in a perfection and a grace that allows for us to let go of it, or at least to integrate it into something else that is bigger. And so I let go into that wisdom inside. I let go into that yes, and I let it be. And so it is.
Our prayer of love lifts us high. It heals us, sustains us, and sets us free. Our prayer of love lifts us high. It heals us, sustains us, and sets us free. Our prayer of love lifts us high. It heals us, sustains us, sets us. Once again, Patty Littlefield. Patty Littlefield. For those, hi there. For those of you keeping score, we're going to do this in G minor.
Jeez, dude. Higher vibe, live in me. Higher vibe, set me free. On higher truth is creating a living proof in a peaceful way. Everything I do, everywhere I go, everyone I know is alive and loved, shining in the mind of God. on higher truth is creating a living proof in a peaceful way. Everything you do, everywhere you go, everyone you know is alive and love shining in the mind of God. Shining in the mind of God. We are shining in the mind of God. Shining. Shining. Thank you.
Patty Littlefield.
Thank you so much. Oh, I want to remind them. Oh, others are going to do it. I'll keep my mouth shut.
That's okay.
Sit.
Say anything you want to say. Well, not anything.
No problem. I hope you were reminding everyone that you will be here in concert on Thursday with these guys. I'm going to say a little more about that in a minute, but now's the time where we move into the sharing of our tithes and offerings. So I invite you to take whatever it is you brought to share with this community today and to hold it over your heart and give it a silent blessing, whatever that is for you today. Maybe there is some aspect of your yes that you are more clear about than ever before, that you are willing to commit to. Or maybe there's just a willingness to say no authentically so that you may have more room for your yes, to remember that no is a complete sentence. Whatever that is. I just invite you to feel what it feels like to know that you are supported, that there is a wisdom inside of you that is available and ready to show you exactly where to look, exactly what gets to be uncovered so that that yes can be revealed in a deeper way. And I just know how sweet it is to have this opportunity to be authentically and powerfully alive. And so I just let go into that space. And I infuse that which I offer into this community today with that power, with that question, with that intention, so that it may bless not only myself, but this entire community and this entire thing called life. So I just invite you to join me to sing as our ushers come through the aisle.
I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on freedom.
Usually the baskets come back to me and oh, they did. I was totally in my own world. Thank you. I didn't even see it. Say yes. Yes. Uh, I, yeah, I don't know. I have nothing. So we just bless all that has been offered into this space today. We bless this community. We bless the sacred yes that is in each and every one of us. We bless it, the movement of spirit that reveals that yes in deeper ways all of the time. And I just know how blessed we are to be on this path together, to be transforming, to be clearer and more powerful and more available to spirit than ever before. And I just know how sweet it is. And so I just let go into that and I let it be. And so it is. Thanks, honey. All right, so let's see. Yes, this Thursday. Yes. Yes. So Thursday, right here, this amazing band is in concert here for the Outpost Spring Concert Series. So we get to show off our amazing band in our community. They'll be joined by the lovely Patty Littlefield, who we had today, Tracy Whitney and Carla Terwilliger, as well as a horn section. So Lee Taylor will be here and Paul Gonzalez, and hopefully Arlen, if he is well. So help us pray up Arlen. We've been praying for him for weeks now. But let's pray him up so he hopefully could be here with us. And it's going to be great. So if you want to purchase tickets, you can do so at outpostperformancespace.org. You can do that here if you want, if that's easier. I have my iPad. It'll be at the info table, and you can do that here. If you've already given me cash for a ticket, which you can also do, your names will be at the box office. And you can pick up your ticket there on Thursday. We're hoping to sell out, so please make sure to help us get the word out, because that would be really great to get as many people to hear these guys as possible. So we're excited about that. That's Thursday, this Thursday. Yay! Yes! Yes. So also on the third Saturday of this month, we will be cooking for Community of Hope. This is a service we do to the larger community. We make a meal that is then served to the hungry and homeless. We do this once a month. So the third Saturday of the month, we prepare the meal, and then the fourth Saturday, the meal is served. And if anyone wants to participate in that in any level, including serving, that is always greatly appreciated. More information is available if you give me your information at the info table. Let's see, and then the fourth Saturday, we will be at Roadrunner Food Bank, also a monthly thing we do together. And we've missed a few months because of their scheduling issues, so we're excited to be back there this month. And then thank you for the congregant in the room for the gentle nudge, because of a desire to make a donation in a different way. We now have a brokerage account, so if anyone wants to donate stock to One Spiritual Center, we can accept it now. Hey, there are more and more ways to give. So thank you for that nudge. And let's see, things are moving. Yay. Let us sing.
Yes, sir. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart. Let's give thanks to the Lord, and we can feel alright. just thank the Lord. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart. Let's give thanks to the Lord, and we can feel alright. People get ready for that train to Jordan. It's picking up passengers from coast to coast. Faith is the key. You open the doors and board 'em. There's room for all that love. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart. Let's give thanks to the Lord, and we can feel alright. Let's give thanks to the Lord, and we can feel alright.
And we have one last blessing to sing to one another.
Go forth and walk in beauty, and know that we are one. Thank